Hi everybody, it's Jules here from Xpos and I'm with two retail greats today. That's Mark Hopkins from Xpos and David Fulcher from Edgbaston Golf Academy. Hello both.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome. So today it's the week before shops opening in England, and we're still waiting to hear what's going to happen with Scotland and Wales and Ireland. But it's still quite a crucial time. It's a really important few days leading up to golf shops officially opening. So we thought we'd have a quick 10 minutes to chat about what retailers should be doing to get ready and make sure that you don't miss anything. David, let's start with you, if I might. What are you doing now? What are your main concerns about Monday, about when the shop opens fully, and how are you managing the transition now with sort of what you're doing now in the shop to what's going to happen on Monday?
So we've been operating pretty much as a click and collect. We've actually had a Shopify link, which has gone really well. So we've had quite a few orders and leads through that. I don't think we've got any concerns about reopening. I just think it's about getting ready. So laying out the shop, a one-way system, and just making sure that we're able to educate the members pretty quickly about what we're going to do. So from the golf club's point of view, that they've managed that quite well and telling members about how to turn up and leave the golf club. We need to do the same from the golf shop, really. So no concerns, just more about telling members how to come in, what they can do, how many people in the shop, what facilities we can open. Things like custom fitting and those things are still appear not to be indoor room anyway, not appear to be open yet. But we're very much looking forward to getting members back and the till ringing and hopefully some sales, really.
Yeah, so the golf course been open. It's been busy since it's opened.
Yes, really busy. We've been from 7:30 to 7:30 every day since we reopened. So obviously going to 3 balls. We haven't quite gone to 4 balls, but it's been really busy. But we've been quite lucky with the support on the Shopify and just members wanting to support the club anyway from afar. So that's been really positive. So that's kept us going, definitely.
And how have you been communicating with those members then?
Mainly through, I guess, the old-fashioned ways, telephone, just speaking to people a bit more, Zoom. So I've actually done 3 or 4 Zoom calls with the members. So I did one with the ladies section, men's section, a couple with the seniors, and that's been really good just to let them know what we've been doing. And a lot of them didn't realise, members didn't realise we were on furlough. Some of the staff were on furlough, just telling them about what our plans were, how we were going to do things. So that's been really good. And from there, members have asked, can I get this? Can I get re-grips? Can I do that? Can I buy this? So that's been a really positive to keep that sort of conversation and communication going, as well as things like MailChimp. We've obviously continued with, and we've also got our XMail campaigns that are backed up ready to be sent out when we can do sort of gap tests, re-gripping, all those sort of things. All those sort of things are waiting to go as well.
Awesome. What about you, Mark? You've been talking to pros around the country. Have you got any concerns, or do you kind of see there's a consistent theme of what people are doing to get ready?
Yeah, there's not, I guess, a bit of a concern, but just keeping an eye on pricing. I don't know what David's thoughts are on these, but certainly a couple of guys I've spoken to concerned about heavy discounting. Because naturally you're going to panic. You think the key months of the year have gone, and therefore I've still got a lot of stock of autumn, winter looming in the distance. The easiest thing to say, right, I'll get rid of my stock, I'll sell it cheap. I'll stick it on eBay or just big discount as soon as I open. And we've banged on about this a lot when it comes to discounting. You've got to be clever with the stuff. There's no point in just laying it out dirt cheap as soon as you have the opportunity. And at the moment, the gut feel is that, people have money in their pocket to burn. So, and they haven't got anywhere else to spend it at the moment. As we can see, golf courses are busy, so they're keen to play. I'm sure there's still more people who want to play, and haven't had the opportunity. So big opportunities. Imagine, it's the day one, you're about to open again, people itching to buy. The last thing you want to do is have big discounts on day one. I mean, that's crucial. So I get it that there are going to be some online sites that have already discounted, but I don't think you should be bullied into doing the same. And ultimately, the more you can get for your money, the better. The last thing you want to do is turnover down and margin down. So what's your thoughts on that, David?
Yeah, we haven't really identified any changes to how we'd price things normally. So I guess the only things we've got is a little bit of winter stock that we might try and move on. With a bit of a wet winter, we've been left with a little bit of winter stock. So we've just identified a few pieces that we'd like to sort of discount and move on, but they're only a handful really. Everything else is at normal full price and sort of full margin. So yeah, we haven't looked to discount things down, and very much same as your point really, that because we haven't been able to generate much revenue or any revenue and therefore profit to reinvest in future things. To discount effectively, we'd have to try and find cash from somewhere we haven't had or haven't got. So we're definitely looking to keep everything at full price and just hopefully members come in and want to spend, and like you say, that hopefully they have money in their pocket to spend with us.
I think you made a good point, which links to that, which is that you hopefully you know where you are in the year. So yeah, we've had some pretty terrible months, but you know what effect that's had. You know where you are in terms of your stock value. You know where you are in terms of what you need to do to catch up, if you can catch up. You know where you're going to be at the end of the year if things carry on as they are. You know, as if it was a typical year. And where you would then hope to see the boost in the next few months, what impact that was. I assume you're on top of it, David, as you always are.
That's kind of you to say. Yeah, I think one thing we sat down with Josh, who runs the shop, and we've looked at forecasts and looked at worst case scenarios, because I guess not knowing exactly what we're going to come back to, we looked at worst case, almost option 1, 2, 3, worst case, okay, and then sort of almost back to normal. So, and again, I think that's really important for us to understand what we then can buy in the future and what we've got to be, I guess, concerned with. So hopefully we've done enough planning and enough forecasting that we won't come unstuck. And if things do happen and go wrong, or we get a second spike, at least we're in the best position if something does go wrong. So
you guys, David, though, you guys don't tend to have a lot of excess stock because you're pretty on top of your inventory, and as well as your budgeting and targets and stuff. What would you say to somebody out there who does actually have quite a lot of excess stock now, especially because the shop's been shut?
I think possibly first place, speak to the suppliers. I think they're in a challenging position, same as we are. So I think have a chat with them and see if they're able to give you some credit note against it, maybe, sale and return. That might not be possible. But I'd probably say just stay patient. And as Mark said, I think if things haven't sold for a while, then discount them. But I think if things have been in the shop, just because we've been closed and haven't been able to sell, I would sort of and see for the first 4 to 6 weeks, see what happens with the sales, and then back from there. I think reacting before we open and thinking we've got to put everything on sale and discount down, I think puts the retailer in a weaker position. So if we could sort of stand firm and just see how we get on for the first 4 to 6 weeks, I think that would be a good start anyway.
Yeah, well done. So David as well, actually Mark, you might have something to say on this. Obviously when the shops reopen, and I've been to a couple of pro shops recently myself, but obviously they're shut, but there's some access. When they do open, there's going to be reduced footfall. Some of them have got one-way systems around the shop. You might not have the opportunity to browse, and all the usual stuff. Lots of restrictions in place, understandably. What can people be doing to drive sales and stay on target and try and shift that stock? Because it is going to be that much more difficult in the shop, isn't it?
Shall I go on that one? So yeah, there's loads of things they can do, and David's already mentioned a few that he's been doing. Communication, that's always been crucial even before now, but even more important now. If members don't know, and you may be a members club, you may be a visitors club, either way, you've got to get in touch with people. And if anything, this may show weaknesses that you've had previously, but don't let that get you down. Now's the perfect time to start trying to fix that. So communicate any which way you can. So traditional methods, you've got emails, you've got newsletters. I'm sure most of you do that. So take advantage of that and get out there, but go over and above. I know we're busy. I know everyone's busy, just opening and running the club, but crucial that you think about telling your members as much, even if it's been open for the last however many weeks. You've got to let them know about what you're doing within the shop, and when you're opening, what you'll be selling, etc. And obviously what your best products are, and start getting back into the routine of selling your products. So that, as said, emails, text. I love the idea of David using their phone, classic, the old school phone. That's great. Get out there.
Yeah, and the Zoom's a great
Talk to
idea.
them. And Zoom as well, yeah. And if you've got Xmail, fantastic. If you haven't, give us a shout, because that's going to be awesome in terms of getting that ongoing marketing as well. Keep in the background so you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, no. I think the thing we've sort of gone back through is, I guess, old leads, really, people that wanted custom fittings and something that didn't tie up with dates or something like that. We've sort of gone through all sort of emails and our sort of list of leads and just looked at who wanted clubs or regrips or wedges or waterproof jackets, and for whatever reason we haven't managed to make the sales. We've started to go back through some of those, and that's been really positive. I think people want to support us, and like many members clubs want to support their pro, and then have been more willing to come back to us. So definitely the lead list has been one we've been looking at quite a bit as well.
Yeah, great idea.
That's a good idea. Yeah, brilliant. David, going back to staff, you said you'd furloughed some staff. We were having a chat about it before we went live. You've brought some staff back. Can you just tell us a bit of what you've been doing with your staff and what they've been doing to help you get the shop ready?
So initially we furloughed all the staff, including myself, for the first 3 to 4 weeks of the lockdown. Then I came back initially to start to set up things like the Shopify and other things. And then after about 8 weeks, our retail manager came back, Josh. So he's been opening the shop, getting the stock ready that we, to price, set up, stock takes, just check, just check the till works again, all the basic things, lay out the store, and start to, contact customers, etc. We've got another member of staff, Dan, who's still on furlough. So our thought was to see how the shop goes first before we bring Dan back. So we might look to use the part-time furlough option, where he might come and work 1 or 2 days rather than his normal working week. And that just gives us a little bit of financial support in the short term. And if things go better, then we'll bring him back sooner. So we've very much done it quite slowly and gradually. So myself and Josh are back, and like I say, waiting to see how the sales go to bring Dan back. And I guess we'll go from there, really. So it's just small steps really we've taken.
You did mention a swear word there, so I apologise. The swear word of stock taking, which is pretty offensive. But that's another thing that, certainly chatting to the guys, it's very easy to say, we haven't sold anything. Why do we need to do a stock take? But let's face it, stock taking is not great at the best of times. So if you've got a chance and you do want to bring back some of your staff, it's a fantastic job to get the guys doing. Remember, easy, do it on your phone, off you go. Just scan it in and off you go. So you've got to get that stuff right now, so that when doors do open, you don't have to worry about it as much. So great opportunity to do that.
Yeah, that's a whole week's job right there.
Yeah, our Xpos, here it goes, system help. It went into red when you don't do any stock takes. So immediately we had to do some when we came back. So everything's back to green. You'll be happy to.
Yeah, perfect. Good to hear. Awesome. Okay, David, last question. Get the crystal ball out. What are you hoping for the rest of this year?
I think we're good. We're going to try and be as positive as possible. So I think we'll probably be about 20 to 25% down is our initial reaction. I think the main thing is for us to stay as positive as possible. Sort of, I'm sure you've got the phrase in your phrase bookmark. plan for. I think is it plan for the worst and hope for the best. So that's our yeah. So I think that's our position at the moment. We've done as much as we can with budgeting and forecasting and managing any risk with stock and paying suppliers, just to make sure we can continue to pay the bills. So and fingers crossed, if we can get to sort of about 75% of our normal revenue with similar margin, then we'll be really happy, I think, for this year.
Yeah, and I think from my point of view, it's a case of, as you say, don't worry about it too much. You plan and put lots of effort in now, and it will pay off. You're going to be down. There's no doubt about it. But fundamentally, if you can minimise that, and if you followed anything we've said in the past, don't get too bamboozled with all the things. I find it as well that you get so much thrown at you from the government and people like us advising you and things like that. It can be a bit daunting as to know where to start. we're just saying the same stuff we've always said, which is get back to basics. Get your plan in place, work hard on your sales and marketing and communication, and you know what, you'll be all right. You'll be all right. And because fundamentally we are opening and people are coming back, so that's good. That's good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's right. Wise words. Thank you both. That's awesome. I hope everyone at home has found this useful. Any questions, please just get in touch with us and we'll help you as much as we can. Thanks very much. Thanks, Mark. Thanks, David. Good luck, David, for the rest of the season.
Yeah,
thanks very much, Jules. Thanks for inviting me on. Thank you very much.
Cheers, everybody.